What's up, people? So we just went and saw Avengers. What was the name of it? Infinity War?
Infinity War.
The Infinity War. And I decided to record this so that I didn't forget anything that's coming to us now. Whether you saw the movie or not, let me let you know. If you have it and you one of them people who bothered about somebody spoiling a movie, just click off the video. Go see the movie.
Quickly.
Come back. Watch the video.
See, do it resonate with you.
Yeah. The first thing, there is an Infinity War, and it's been going on for a very long time. Between Sirius and Orion, we can start there. Okay.
The true Star Wars.
Right. And I know for a lot of y'all who probably subscribe to our channel, maybe y'all ain't quite there yet where y'all believe that things were happening before Earth was formed and we were put here. But, you know, you just have to do your own study to get to that point. Right now, we kind of just want to stream some of the light codes. I didn't write anything down. We ain't got nothing prepared. But we want it to be organic. And you're not going to get this from, I don't think you're going to get this really from anywhere else. One of the first things that I realized with this movie was that the movie was based around the chakras in the body, which were the colorful stones. Theanos, or I think it's Theanos, it reminds me of a combination of Kronos and another god. But anyway, to me, he was a Nordic god to me.
That's how they had. That's how.
Depicted him.
He was dressed.
Right.
He's clad.
Right. Right. So first of all, we know that don't represent us. Okay. Exactly. We're not of Nordic descent.
Exactly.
So let's start there. He go to worlds. He destroy worlds. He kill women, men, and children. What race on Earth has done that? Okay, you know, we know the Caucasian race has definitely dominated cultures, people, and countries. We know that the 13 bloodlines pretty much run everything. The world investment banking families, the people who fund wars for whatever their desire and agenda is, the people who commit genocide, the people who have perpetrated Mafa 21, perpetrated the studies of Tavistock Institute, perpetrated knowing how to create culture. We know who those people are. And so in this movie, the villain represents and is symbolic of those people if you look at the many characteristics. Now, I have white people in my bloodline. Really not that far off, actually. And so this is not me being racist. This is me observing history and comparing the similarities between history, cultures, and what took place in this movie. So I have nothing against anybody. Really, you are who you are. And you decide what it is that you do while you're here on this earth. So that's the bottom line. If you got melanin by default, you know, you're not superior. And if you happen to be a part of the superior race right now, supremacy, white privilege, you know, that doesn't really guarantee anything either, because we have will and we can change. That is the power of being what we call alive, so that you can change. You can change your mind and you can change your beliefs, and you can grow and evolve. But anyway, so the villain in this movie definitely represented those people. One of the main issues was he needed these stones to be able to obtain the power to actually be God over everything seen and unseen. And these stones, of course, were rainbow colored, right? These stones, of course, was 7 stones, right? Which means that they were the 7 chakras. Very basic stuff. To obtain some of the last few that he needed, it was required of him to kill his daughter. His daughter, I forget her name. She's the character from the Guardians of the Galaxy, which melanated people, our ancestry, and being the first place on this earth, we are considered to be the descendants of Guardians of the Galaxy. With the gods returning, that was just symbolic of the consciousness of being a god returning to us. And we're going through that phase right now, which is why this movie is so important, because there is a war against consciousness. He had to kill her in order to be able to get the stone. He also had to kill the transhumanist bot, can't remember his name, forgive me, that Iron Man created. Remember, he was the intelligence that Iron Man worked with. And so he had evolved to where he was living as human. So these were the last 2 stones he needed to obtain, and he did achieve that. What was important in all of this was there was an attack on Wakanda. That land was tore down. The Black Panther was basically left void, because the movie ended and you kind of really don't know what happened to them, but he was one of the ones who dematerialized at the strength that Theos had obtained. I think that's his name. Forgive me if I'm getting the names wrong, but I'm trying to stream these revelations and these light codes right now, and it's really not important for me to give you the accurate name. You can go by the description. So after all of these wars ensue, right, what happens is he basically wins. He gets all the stones, because the wizard, Dr. Strange, had a stone as well. It was the green stone, you know, green that represents the, well, that's more so indigo. But green would be the heart chakra. And Dr. Strange was the heart chakra. And he needed that stone as well. So he had the power over time and space. So a lot of the things that they were using to beat him, he was still able to beat them because he had the power to control time, and he would simply take time back and do it the way he wanted it to go for his desire and intention to manifest. Well, we know that's happening. We know the manipulation of time and reality between CERN, D-Wave, Sophia, things, AIs we don't know about yet, the nanos that they're feeding us, putting in the air and the water. All of these things are manipulating reality, time, and space. We also know that there are alliances made with beings that are from different dimensions, interterrestrial, extraterrestrial. A lot of things that a lot of us don't believe in and we think are not real because they put them in movies, and it's complete opposite, because usually what's in the movie is real, but the purpose in putting it in the movie is to give the illusion that it's not real, to make you not believe in it. Those with eyes to see, ears to hear, the mind to understand, though, can see these things and decode it. It's an intuition, it's an inner knowing. You don't need to read a book, you don't need a leader to tell you. It's an inner knowing, and the more you begin to get in touch with yourself and know thyself, the more you become connected with everything, and so the more you're able to see the program behind the reality. What was huge that I noticed was every black Marvel character, the top characters, okay? So not talking about the assisting character, okay? They were destroyed. Iron Man's buddy, Don, in real life, whatever his last name is, he was destroyed. Black Panther was destroyed, dematerialized. Like I said, he killed his own daughter, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the green girl. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. But yeah, her. He got rid of her. There was nobody black left standing. whether they were black in real life or black in the movie. That's significant. That is the murder of the black male archetype. What we have to realize is Hollywood is named Hollywood because Hollywood is a wood that's considered to have magical powers and is used to cast spells, to give illusions, to change perception of reality, to confuse. That's what these movies are supposed to do. They're murdering the consciousness that is taking place in the male archetype, not just through food, not just through the chemtrails, not just through things that calcify pineal gland, vaccines, the mercury put in our teeth. None of those things were, oops, coincidence. Oh, we didn't know that that was toxic to you. We had no idea that they would calcify your pineal gland. Oh no, what happened? You got to stop thinking stuff is coincidental. Everything that happens here is planned. But it was something unplanned that's happening. And the true war is against consciousness. The true war is against the return of the gods that has been spoken of in all spiritual prophetic text. The Gnostic teachings. At the exact same time that many black people are still celebrating the success of Black Panther, that affected us. It triggered something inside of us I don't think they were quite prepared to happen. See, a lot of people who had no desire to be conscious except out, Jesus or Islam, whatever it is that they were in at the time, seeing that movie began to unlock something. It left us with questions. And it has led a lot of us to say, hey, what's up with the African mask? Why was that in the movie? Why did he say that's ours and you took it from us? I'm going to take that back. Wait, what's up with Killmonger? All of those things begin to activate what has been dormant in our DNA. That's why we don't use all of our brain, right? That's why many of us don't use our third eye to see, right? That's why a lot of us aren't aware of our chakras, right? We have no clue. Oh, that's something I need to balance. Oh, wait, I need to learn to be conscious of my breath to balance my chakras. A lot of us don't know that. And so what they are doing is killing the vibe through this movie, which was already lined up. They have mediums, they have remote viewers, they use people who operate in the metaphysical. There are some children who are purely bred and born with these abilities to do this, and they do use these things as tools in creating movies. So this movie was already lined up before Black Panther was released. And so to see our heroes, to see for the first time, to have these black heroes on this just mass level, to see them be torn down in the very next movie. He didn't even get to do a part 2, for God's sake. To see that happening subconsciously is killing the conscious vibe. It's killing the excitement that we were on for seeing black people achieve things and be able to be in front of us on the silver screen on that level. They're killing that. They're letting us know, look, we know that y'all think y'all little consciousness is doing something, but we run this. This is our world. We run the chakras because we control what you eat. We run everything. We run your mindset. See, we have been kidnapped in our mind. A lot of us, our souls are infected with the virus of the reality that was created by a people who oppress the gods and goddesses of the earth, who oppress the oldest race of the earth. This has been proven, people. This is science, what I'm speaking. It's true. So for me, I said, hold on. Why have they killed all of the black people that we've seen in Marvel? Left a lot of the white ones, including Thor. You know, they didn't let him go out weak at all. Even though he didn't win, he didn't go out weak either. But they left the black woman, who was the bald-headed warrior that fight with Black Panther. She was alive, and they made sure we saw that. So what that says to me is that's a chess move. And so subconsciously, through the power of the beast of the image that they paint for us, the black woman gets to see, I'm left alone again. There is no king. Once again, it's just me. And so this is why the independent black woman mindset, all of that has worked against us. So seeing the black woman who fought for her king by herself was a symbolic representation of, first, they know the black woman in her womb is necessary, right? There are certain metaphysical properties that's within this race that we don't see in any other race. So they have to obtain the power of that. So the black womb is something that they need for now. One day it might not be. We don't know what they have in the works. But they left this black woman alone. And my daughter said something. She's a teenager. And she said, you know, she said, well, black women, they can't reproduce. So that must have been why they left her alone, for the offspring. I was like, exactly. Proof of this, of what I'm saying, is the fact that Meghan Markle ended up with the royal family who hijacked the royalty of Europe, which was black. The noble black royalty was hijacked by the Merovingians, right? And that's who we have now that we recognize as kings and queens, Prince Charles, all of these people. And out of all people, they get a black woman. Some of you will say, well, she's biracial technically, but one drop of black blood, you can see it. I've never seen somebody have a child with a black person and you can't see the black in them. So they're using the womb of the black woman to give birth to the reality that they are trying to create. What's happening with Bill Cosby? Y'all, it's no coincidence when the days that you have court dates. They don't just pull that out of their ass. There's a system there. For him to get these charges placed on him exactly when one of the first successful male archetypes in a Marvel movie was just obliterated, it's no coincidence. That's viciousness. That's hatred and murder towards the black male archetype. This is why most black women you see in Hollywood are depicted in movies with white men, and sometimes even in real life. They understand who I am, who you are. But because our history was kidnapped and our culture and our language and our spiritual practices were demonized, we don't know who we are, and they're able to capitalize on that. Something else that amazed me was, in leaving from this movie, I said to myself, the intention behind movies are to cause confusion, to blur the lines between truth and lies, right? Because you have power if you can control the consciousness of a people and their knowledge. Something has happened inside of me. I feel myself changing. The movie had the exact opposite impact that it was intended to. It didn't confuse me at all. I haven't read a million books. I didn't study anything, just pure intuition. These things began coming to me, what the intention and motive behind everything that happened in that movie. And I told Ernest, I said, Ernest, that's powerful. Once your mind is able to filter what you're perceiving as reality, and you're able to gain understanding from that, that's the total opposite of everything you've ever been taught, and it resonates with you, that is alchemy, family, that's happening inside of you. This movie was intended to confuse me. These movies are spells. These are spells from ancient times being used to kidnap the mind and consciousness, to control the behavior of the individuals watching the movie. And for the first time, I really realized the exact opposite happened inside of me. The more I have practiced meditation, I have practiced breathing, I have practiced building up strength, internal strength, willpower, to not ever stop, not ever quit. The more I have been practicing these things, the more I can filter bullshit and gather from it a gem that's going to help me and the people who resonate with the messages that come through me to arrive at the destination we're supposed to fulfill our mission and purpose in life. That's powerful. That's being an alchemist. That's being a true shaman. That's being a magician. That's being spiritual. Whichever word you want to use for it. So what I feel and what I see is about to happen. We're going to start seeing a lot of people go back to church who were becoming conscious. We're even going to start to see a lot more division. But if we continue to press on, if we continue to say, you know what, I'm not eating that. I don't want no fast food. I don't want any processed sugar. I don't want any bread, white rice, dairy. I don't want any cheese. Once we get to the point where we have that discipline, so much more is going to unlock for us. We have those stones. And we can begin nurturing, fertilizing consciousness. Doesn't have to die. If you had anything to add, please do. I just wanted to stream that to you all. And I'm going to jump back to my life. But know that reality is what you make from it. Don't let somebody else dictate your reality. Learn to be your own creator of your own reality. All right. I think that's it.